All right, we're out here. We're investigating nefarious things today. It's the Weaver Area Dispatch 911. Business only. Location disposal.
I guess this is the cops' version of a pill dispenser. A grown man's Chuck E. Cheese for these cops. And that, folks, is our first nefarious item found today.
Hello. How you doing?
Not answering questions. I'm going to have to mark that one down. Uncooperative and nefarious and suspicious behavior. Unbelievable.
Hello.
Hey, can I help you?
Is this the police department and the fire department? Y'all share a building together?
Yeah,
Okay.
and also Weaver Dispatch as well.
Weaver Dispatch. Got you. Yeah, I'm just having a look around, doing a little investigation.
Okay.
So, but this is the only publicly accessible spot?
Yes, it is. Just this lobby area.
Okay, got you. All right. Well, not a whole lot to look at in here.
There's some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's you got some, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you're gonna have someone get here soon.
Okay, yeah, sure. If you just want to hang out in the lobby, I'll be with you.
Like, and then I guess I've noticed a lot of other, like, cars, like, around town, like, some of them, like, I would access and thinking, like, and then I was wondering, like, what the hell are they for? And I said, well, either they're probably visiting family that's here, or they're just passing by to go somewhere else.
Yeah, could be.
Because normally you don't see that many, out-of-state license plate here for that long.
All right, the doors work. Good deal.
White truck parked nonchalantly against the wall. Nefarious. We got two cruisers backed right up to the fence, one running. Nefarious. Oh, we got one coming in. I wonder what nefarious things he's up to today. We got a camera up there. That's Nefarious. He was sure in a big rush to get in. Oh, look at these clowns. Yeah, can I help you? Hello? You gonna roll your window down? They want nothing to do with a guy with a camera. What kind of nefarious things do you think goes on behind that gate right there? What kind of nefarious things do you think goes on behind that gate right there? Why don't we find out? Got the emergency vehicle right here, tricked out to look like an ice cream mobile. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Alright, so we're going to make our way back around front, see if there's any action going on in the parking lot or in the office of this building. Heard some crazy things about this building being funded with extortion dollars. Got to get to the bottom of my investigation. Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
So we hear this building right here is funded by extortion dollars. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. We got, it looks like a normal ambulance bay, or at least that's a perfect front for it. Seems about right for some nefarious activities.
So my understanding is that the Church of Latter-day Saints right here is helping to smuggle in nefarious things for the Ogden Police Department. Look at that right there. I think we got a live one, folks. We got a live one. I wonder if Mitt Romney is in there. Hey, somebody get Mitt. I'm looking for Mitt Romney.
What the fuck are they wearing? How you doing? Run, 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 run!
Now, if this doesn't look nefarious, I don't know what does. And I believe that would be the undercover task force right there. Ogden's finest.
Have to go check them out for some nefarious things in their car. Any loose narcotics, any guns that have the serial numbers scratched off of them. That's probably the car to look out for.
Hey!
I guess if you got a camera, you can't talk to law enforcement. You can't. Got one looking suspicious over there, digging around in his car, looking like he's hiding something.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just.
I don't.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hey, I'm out here investigating, looking for nefarious things today. Have you seen any nefarious things out and about?
Maybe me?
You? Yeah, I was told somewhere between the Church of Latter-day Saints and this building. The word is this building right here that y'all share, the building with the fire department. My understanding is that it's funded with extortion money. And so I'm out here checking to see what's going on.
Well, you can check all you want because it's, public property.
I understand.
Up to the fence here, but beyond that,
Yeah.
it's public safety employees only.
Absolutely. Hey, question. I got a question for you. Oh, is that how y'all do it? There's some shady stuff going on back there. They scatter like flies. They scatter like flies. Really? These people are true.
recalibration of the gimbal.
Put a bunch in there.
Yeah, well, I may actually need more than this. I don't know how many officers y'all have. Y'all got a major problem about talking to the public. I tried to talk to every officer I saw, and they burned off. Something about a guy with a camera. They just automatically think the worst, and that's messed up. They're not even. I don't know. I guess I need to go back on my video and see how many of them just intentionally would not talk to me, would not roll the window down, burned off, refused to even. I guess that's ridiculous. That's prejudging. There's no telling what I could have been going up there to go talk to them about. Okay, that's uncalled for. So whoever are you in some position of authority?
Is this a desk officer? Do you want to talk to a sergeant?
I sure do. They failed miserably today.
There you are. Put a bunch in there.
Yeah, well, I may actually need more than this. I don't know how many officers y'all have. Y'all got a major problem about talking to the public. I tried to talk to every officer I saw, and they burned off. Something about a guy with a camera. They just automatically think the worst, and that's messed up. They're not even.
How many do you need?
I don't know. I guess I need to go back on my video and see how many of them just intentionally would not talk to me, would not roll the window down, burned off, refused to even. I guess that's ridiculous. That's prejudging. There's no telling what I could have been going up there to go talk to them about. Okay, that's uncalled for. So whoever are you in some position of authority?
Is this a desk officer? Do you want to talk to a sergeant?
I sure do.
there a line?
No.
No?
You can wait for a supervisor out if they'll even come out. But given the nature of this, how this department has acted today, I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't-
It's big. You see how they all like they'll pull it out. And then they'll like pull out. They'll go like this way. And then like this.
If we ever move to a different country, you know where I'll go? Where? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Apparently they have a lot in long life.
Why?
Yeah, there's a lobby full of people. I was trying to speak to a supervisor because Ogden Police has epically failed an investigation today, and that pretty much the whole department. So, I mean, I don't think there's enough grievance forms for me to fill out, so I want to speak to a supervisor about this. And I feel like, just like the officers, they're playing a game of dodgeball. And because I'm in here in the office or in the lobby, they don't want to service these other people, and that's ridiculous. They need to come over here and talk to these people and talk to me. In the police department / fire department for Ogden. I'm not going to provide that. Don. All right, like I know there's officers available. This is ridiculous. They cannot do this. Yeah, well, and they've been ignoring me all day today. Like it's ridiculous. I need a supervisor. All right. Bye. Well, you say don't mind this guy. Every time y'all have seen this guy today, y'all just burned off. I've tried to talk to you, you've ignored me, and you burned off.
Let me just read some information. Is it DA? Sir, you're fine to record. Just don't interfere, please.
Hey, I need to see one of your supervisors. Let me get your name and badge number, actually, because what you said at the beginning tells the tale. What's your name and badge number?
Give me 1 second, sir. If you'll just please keep your distance for a second.
See, the thing is, I don't try to make your job difficult. I really don't. But when y'all treat me like shit,
I will get you a supervisor. Let me just finish the little thing.
I see a man with a fucking camera and you start freaking out and scattering like flies.
Sorry, Tier 10 is coming out now to know the plane.
All right, do you see this gentleman over there? He can help you out.
All right. Sergeant. All right, good. It's about time, man. Like, what? I've been waiting for a while. I got a complaint on the whole department. Y'all have made yourselves look horrible today.
We step inside or off out of the parkway?
Yeah, that's fine. Y'all have made, your whole department has made themselves look horrible today.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't come out here to instigate or anything, but every single one of them, I tried to talk to them. They just completely ignored me and burned off, scattered like flies. Now, what if I had something serious I needed to talk to them about? Is that the way that, I mean, what is your policy?
You're a little vague on what's occurred, so I'm not sure how to address what you're saying.
Every single officer, like when they were pulling out or when they were over here in the parking lot, as soon as they saw me and when I was walking up to them, I tried to flag them down. They were like, and they just freaking took off.
Okay. Do you have a concern that you need addressed right now?
Maybe.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Do you?
Well, I came out here to investigate some nefarious things.
Well, the first thing, you're complaining about the possibility of having something to report. Do you have something to report?
Well, I have some officers to report. Most of them. Actually, just about every single one of them.
Do you currently have something you need to report? You just said that might have been an issue. Is that an issue?
No, I was coming out here to investigate some nefarious things.
Okay, so the answer is no to that then?
The answer is yes.
So you do have something to report?
Well, this is an ongoing investigation.
Okay, I'm confused. Do you have something to report that I need to address criminally?
No, I have something that I want to address about the conduct of your officers.
Which again, I'm happy to address. I just need a yes or no. Do you have a criminal issue that we need to address?
No, I have no criminal issue.
Okay, let's return to the officer issue then. What's the issue you have?
I mean, it's just a lot of unprofessionalism today. I mean, here's the thing, okay? Ogden has caught a bad rap for, journalists, 1A people with cameras. So, it's been floating around. Don't go to Ogden because they're bad over there. Okay, I had to come over here and check things out myself and see exactly firsthand how the conduct of the officers, because I believe it's very important from a position of public trust to be able to address the public and be respectful to the members of the public.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, who pays y'all's paychecks?
Our taxpayers here.
You're damn right they do. And so, is that a way to treat a taxpayer that's walking up just because he's got a camera? I mean, that's just labeling anybody that's got a phone in their hand, anybody that's got a camera, is somebody that's out there that's against y'all, and that's an unfair label.
Okay.
I don't go out there to instigate shit. I'm mad as hell right now because of the way your officers acted and conducted themselves today. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Okay, so your concern is that the officers didn't engage with you when you were recording them? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I had my camera out. I mean, just because I had my camera out, just because it was on this stick, they wanted to burn off. They thought that I was up to no good.
When you say burn off, you're saying the officers applied so much pressure to the gas that the tires skid away?
I mean, just about. It didn't skirt the tires, but
would it be fair to say you're probably exaggerating then?
No, I didn't say they skirted the tires, but they
That's what
took
skirt
off.
means.
All right, we're gonna play technicalities here.
No, I'm just trying to understand what you're actually saying, because you're making statements that are a little above what actually occurred, and I'm just trying to make sure I understand what actually occurred.
And you guys never do that cop-splaining?
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 What does that mean?
You know what cop-splaining is.
I wouldn't ask if I knew.
When a cop doesn't know the answer to something, they start making shit up on the fly.
I'm not aware of what you're talking about.
I mean, like rights, like laws. I mean, prime example. Do you know the 5 elements of the First Amendment? You're gonna tell me to hold on. You're gonna probably figure out a way to walk off, because it always happens like that.
I'm actually not going to engage in that conversation.
Of course, because you look at it like it's giving legal advice, and that's not the thing. Let me ask you this.
I just don't see the point in the conversation.
Okay, but how can you enforce the laws if you don't know people's rights? That's a key element of people's rights right there. Is the First Amendment.
What is it you're looking for today? 'Cause it looks like you're just trying to confront me, and I'm not sure what
no,
you're looking for.
No. Because by now I'm pissed the hell off. Because I've been standing around your lobby, and I'm sure it was all fun and games, watching the lobby fill up and letting everybody wait, because I was in there waiting to to redress
Are you
somebody about
perhaps
this.
projecting what you think occurred?
Uh,
Because there's a whole city we're taking care of, not just the lobby.
you also have, well, you have South Ogden police as well. It's,
That doesn't come into our city.
you know, I'm gonna do a grammar request
Okay.
and get the names, ranks, and salaries of your whole department.
That's all online.
And
it's easily available.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to publish that, disseminate it, to show
It's open to the
exactly what
public.
people do with the what your officers do with the
It's open
money
to the
the
public.
taxpayers
It's
pay.
it's a public website. You can go and pull all that information from. Everyone has access to it.
So you're condoning
I didn't condone
your
anything.
officers refusing.
I didn't say anything like that.
I mean, it's one thing. They should roll down the window, or they should talk to me. Okay, if I'm confrontational, that's one thing to pull off. But
Right.
for me to try to get their attention and talk to them, and literally every single one of them drove off.
Where did these incidents occur?
Right here, at the gates, even while waiting for the gate to open, keeping the windows shut. Two officers. There were several vehicles that came in and out while they were waiting, waiting to come in, waiting on the gate to roll open. Refused to even crack the window to even answer a question of mine.
Okay. So I guess what you have to take in consideration of what you're saying is that every officer knows when someone does what you're doing, they're looking for a confrontation.
Well, that's certainly what they showed today.
Okay, and
Actions speak louder than
do you
words.
want the officers confronting you in those situations? Because that's generally what these situations turn into. You get confronted, then you complain that the officers are confronting you, and that's what they're avoiding. So I'm asking, what is it you're really expecting from that situation?
I was just simply trying to ask a question. I don't even
Okay.
remember what the question was at the time.
Okay. Well, if you come to that
But-
question, you feel free to ask me at any time. I'm happy to answer the question. But the reality is the officers are told to avoid any confrontations. The auditors tend to do that. So if there was an issue where you were being ignored on a criminal issue, certainly I'd be happy to address that. It sounds like you're describing two situations that you had attempted contacts with the officers.
No, more than two.
Okay.
I mean, I can go back on my videos.
Well, you just said
There's
that the
quite
gate
a
you
few.
said here.
Yeah, but there were multiple at the gate.
Okay.
Multiple at the gate.
Okay. I guess I would return to the question. What is it you're looking for, just to answer a question?
No, I just think they're being rude as fuck.
Because they didn't answer your question?
No, because they just ignored me and you know.
Well, that's what I said. If you wanted them to answer a question, you're upset they didn't stop to answer your question, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. At the same time, the officers don't want to have confrontations that are smear campaigns against the officers to prove some kind of point. That's how they feel. I'm not justifying them not stopping to talk to you. I wasn't there in those situations to justify one way or the other. I'm happy to answer any question you have here today. Happy to address any concerns you have today. It doesn't sound like you were trying to report a crime, so there's no negligence of their job. Is there something specifically you'd like to ask?
I mean, how would y'all like it if I just burned off whenever you came up to me trying to
When they
ask
just
something?
pulled
I mean,
away?
that's yeah. How would that get received by your department?
I mean,
but y'all are
if we-
special because you have a badge, right? That gives
What's-
you special powers. You
Hang
rise
on.
above the citizens.
Hang on,
and
that's a you statement, not a me statement.
I'm just saying, but that's
So when you say burn off when you're trying to act like if you've not committed a crime, we don't have a reason to detain you, then there's nothing we could do about it. So I guess I'm confused on what you're asking.
yeah. All right. I'm not gonna argue with you on that.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just asking you,
But-
like, generally what your position is.
Yeah, generally what my position on that is if somebody takes off, y'all will try to come up with some kind of probable cause to put the person under detainment because they were acting suspicious or they,
possible.
you know, but suspicion's not a crime either. So, and you
It
should know that.
depends. You had to have more than just suspicion. Reasonable, articulable, right?
Right.
But suspicion is involved in that, right? Okay, so yeah,
A certain element, but yeah.
it's a big part of the element, right? I mean, I had to have suspicion of something, and then something suggests that's articulate. So suspicion's a big part of it, right? And I think what you're doing is you're characterizing overall law enforcement in a negative view, which I don't think is fair. I mean, what you came to me was complaining, saying it's not fair that people negatively look at people with cameras,
No, see,
but
the
that's
thing
exactly
is,
what you're doing to the officers.
no. See, and now you got me fucked up because
I'm not trying to. I'm just pointing out like what you're doing.
I know that, but what I'm saying is I'm all about promoting cops doing their job
Okay.
the right way. I'm not out to bring shame to all officers. I'm not out here saying fuck the police to every single one of them. Okay?
I'm not saying you said that.
But at the end of the day, it's you know, when they give me a reason, when they do shit like this, that and then I'm sitting around waiting to speak to a supervisor for about an hour. I don't know how long I was actually in the lobby
Probably
for.
about
but it
10 minutes.
was,
Honestly,
get real.
I called in as soon as I saw the call. I asked
Get
about
real.
it, and then I had to go grab some stuff before I could come out and address it. Like,
Are you serious?
100%, sir.
Hmm.
I can give you the exact time. Maybe it was longer than 10 minutes, but definitely wasn't an hour.
I can tell you right now that I was in that lobby for. I would be willing to bet it was about 45 minutes, because I even heard the woman say, like that was in there, tell her husband that we've been in here close to an hour now. I got in there. I got in there about the same time as her. She was on the phone right there at the desk whenever I walked in.
I can ask if you really want to know. Do you want to know? Do you want me to find out for sure?
I mean, if we're gonna have this argument, then yeah.
Well, I'm not arguing with you.
Because I'm telling you, I was in there.
Don, I'm
just
just
about
letting you
right
know
after.
I came out as soon as I could. In fact, I'm not even assigned to the field work today, and in order to make sure there wasn't going to be an issue out here, I'm doing desk work today, and I said I'm going to go out and take care of that because I know all the field guys are busy. That's what happened.
You know, whenever I called in there, that was after already waiting in there for about 30 minutes, probably close to 30 minutes. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I went out in the hallway and I picked up the phone and I called you. So that wasn't just, I didn't just go in there
So wait,
and pick up the phone.
when you first went in, did you make a call for?
No, because she had already called and there was already somebody sitting right there. And I figured, okay. Well, there's no need for me to pick up the phone.
When you called in is when we first were notified you were out here.
But there were other people, there were two other people waiting.
There was about 20 calls on the board waiting for police assistance. You weren't the only one, and neither were they.
Well, and you're the only supervisor, you're the only sergeant.
No, there's probably 4 sergeants on right now, and they're all busy in the field except for me. So I said, hey guys, I'll take care of that because I know you're busy. I went and got my equipment to come out in the field to talk to you as quickly as I could. So I understand there's some perception based off of what you thought was told to dispatcher to us, but it was about 10-15 minutes from when I was notified to when I came out there and talked to you. So there's no conspiracy to not get to you or anyone else in the lobby.
I mean, but
there was probably 6 calls attached to the lobby when I came out here to talk to you.
I get it, okay, but you got to look at it from my perspective. When every single one of your officers, none of them would speak to me today, all of them just scattered like flies, what am I supposed to think? Let's just, I mean, when you put 2 and 2 together and everybody's scattering and nobody's, everybody's refusing.
Okay, do you want the honest answer?
Sure.
Okay. It is a very unusual behavior for people to walk around with a camera trying to confront officers. Most of the time when that's occurring, it's someone that's looking for a confrontation. If you want a genuine engagement with the officers, what you're doing is probably pushing that away.
I engage with the entire government, not just police officers.
I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm not telling you you did anything legal. I'm not telling you you did anything wrong. What I'm telling you is the officers are all human beings who want to come do a job without dealing with conflict because people just want to make conflict. Isn't that fair?
Isn't it fair for me to want to...
Hang on, I'll take your side. I just want you to hear answer my side first. Isn't it fair the officers are not looking to come to work to have confrontation, but people are just looking to get a clip online? Isn't that fair?
But that's not it.
I'm going to address your side.
Also show off the good. I'm answering your question. Also show off the good. I don't just come out here to look for a confrontation.
But I'm not accusing you of any of that.
Right. But isn't it fair for somebody to want to live their life without having their rights violated by police? That happens too often. And part of the reason is
about
because they don't even know. Huh?
Statistically, about less than 1% of the contacts with law enforcement.
1%.
That's statistics, yeah.
Where do you get that statistics?
You can go online, look it up. There's plenty of it all over.
Where did you
Listen,
search to find 1%?
I don't have it off the top of my head. It's online.
Are you cops planning?
No, I ain't cops
I
planning.
think you're cops planning.
You want to look it up right now with me? I'll stand by you while you do it. Okay. Don, do you live in Ogden? You don't have to answer. Just kind of get a grasp of where you built your perception.
No, I'm not from Ogden.
Where'd you grow up? In Utah or a different state?
I'm not going to answer questions, man.
I'm not, like I said, you didn't have to answer. I'm just trying to build an understanding of your perception.
Well, you know, my experience is any cop that's trying to act nice and ask questions is doing it for nefarious purposes, and you know, so I just don't answer questions. What percentage of encounters amount in constitutional rights?
If you get that specific, I don't know if you're going to get an answer.
Well, that's the question, man.
Well, you said you were talking about like negative context.
No, I was saying like having rights violated.
Yeah, you did say that. I don't know if the verbiage is going to say it that way, I guess is what I'm saying.
It's let's see. Yeah, I don't see I don't see anything like that. I'll tell you what I can do. I'll ask my friend right here, ChatGPT. It never fails me.
That's true. As long as you got the current data, I don't know how.
Oh yeah.
Because I know the older version or the free versions tend to run off a couple years old, but should be pretty similar numbers.
No. What percentage of police encounters result in civil rights or constitutional rights violations?
What'd you get?
According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, approximately 53.5 million people had at least one encounter with police over the years. Okay, I don't need all that. I need percentages. Okay, so data collected from various independent oversight organizations and advocacy groups estimate that roughly 2 to 5% of all encounters potentially involve some form of misconduct, excessive force, or constitutional rights violations.
Not the data I have, but even if that one's accurate, that's still pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the only point I'm trying to make with that is, if you look at...
But 10% or higher in vulnerable communities.
Okay, but then you'd have to look at where most crimes are occurring, or where most police are being focused, and then there's a whole separate argument. Back on track?
It's my cameraman. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just, you know, I haven't been down here to Ogden really, and I just wanted to come and check it out and just kind of conduct my own little investigation. Just wanting to, you know, I kind of wanted to do a little. I wouldn't call it an audit. No, I just make sure that, you know, no narcotics out in plain view in the cars, and you know, no.
As far as with the officers, or?
No guns with scratched off serial numbers. You know, so we don't have any issues of, you know, a bag of crack getting thrown in somebody's car and a gun and.
In my entire career, I've not heard of any accusations like that here in Ogden.
Alright. Well, how long you been here?
Let's see, I started in 2013 here,
2013?
so 11 years.
What did you do before you became a cop?
I started here, was at the prison before that, then I worked at a homeless shelter before that.
Oh, you were a prison guard, huh?
Yep.
You like being a cop better than that?
Yes, I did.
I would imagine
Nothing wrong
so.
with being a prison guard, it just wasn't for me.
It's just the same shit day in, day out.
Yeah, a little too routine for me.
So, and what is your salary?
Well, we're hourly. The problem with that is that I work so much overtime that it's not reflective of what my actual salary is.
So it gets kicked way up there.
I work a lot of overtime.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I pulled, I just got grammar requests from South Ogden a few days ago, and there's a lot of them that are up over 100, and then and that's without overtime and all that added in.
When you look at those numbers, make sure you're also looking at, because sometimes those numbers come out, they're saying your benefits are part of your, so make sure you're separating the two.
Okay.
So that you're recognizing what they're actually paid versus what benefits are offered to all city employees.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed when people request that stuff, they're like, "Oh, see, the officers are making," or you can look at mine and they'll say I make over 200,000, but that's not true. Benefits are like 60 to 80,000 or something like that.
That's crazy. That's a lot of benefits.
Right. Well, that's just the cost of benefits. I mean, I don't know. It's just the way all benefits work when you look at it that way. But I mean, I work really hard for the money that I make, in the sense that a lot of long weeks. So.
Well, and see, one of the things that brought me here to this building today is, it was brought to my attention that this building right here is funded with extortion money. And,
What from?
Extortion.
I know, but like, what do you mean?
Extorting people.
Well, it was built off a bond, which was off a tax. So, I mean, I wouldn't know. Are you talking taxes or extortion?
No, I'm talking about tickets and,
You know, people say that. The problem with that idea is
court.
that most of the money that the city gets from that, so the state gets a chunk of every citation, the city gets a small chunk, and really is what covers the cost of having a justice court. The justice courts allow the citizens to handle stuff in the city without going to the district court. It allows us to handle civil matters. There's no real profit coming off of it.
So justice court, I've been places where justice court was like a county court. It was basically the most inferior county court, lowest level. They handled misdemeanors, setting felony bonds, and civil claims up to $2,500. Is that kind of how
misdemeanors A and above are all handled at the district court.
district?
So we're misdemeanor B and below.
Okay.
Fractions, civil issues up to the small amount. I'm not sure because I don't do the civil stuff.
Yeah.
But something like that. So it's all low cost, and we've even changed over the last year how we're doing enforcement. So our find issued citations are significantly less than they used to be. So I mean, a lot of people say stuff like that because it's the generic talking point for law enforcement.
Yeah.
That we're funded off of citations. We're just not. We're funded off of property tax.
Well, let me ask you this, all right? Because I know you got a job to do, and I'm gonna let you go. But so I take it that y'all have had a pretty big issue with 1A people. I mean, it's
sometimes.
How many of y'all had over here? How big of an issue has it been in the past?
We have a couple of regulars that come by,
Yeah.
and they're usually pretty aggressive. That's why I say that most encounters we're having with people like that are very aggressive, like threatening to fight the officers. So I wouldn't consider them auditors.
Yeah.
But that's what they call themselves.
Right.
I would consider those people agitators.
Right.
But overall, I think in my time that I'm aware of, you're talking like 10-ish people, but a lot of these people are repeat people.
See, look, I'll tell you, this is the reason why I do this. I do this because I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Just like you, swore a oath to protect and defend the Constitution. I swore an oath that never expires. Just because I'm out of the Marine Corps You know, the oath that I swore, it's, you know, lifelong, because, you know, I could have given my life, you know, during, you know, with the blank contract that I signed to the U.S. government while I was in the Marine Corps. I do this because it's basically, I want to highlight the good and I want to highlight the bad, okay? And it's a way to help ensure that our rights are protected. I want to show officers respecting my rights and doing their job correctly. And look, an officer that, you know, whenever I do cop watching, 9 times out of 10, no officer really has an issue with it, because I'm not causing any issue for them. I'm just basically a backup camera, you know? If they're not doing anything wrong, they shouldn't be worried about a camera.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Again, I would like to point out, like, the problem is the people who are usually doing it are actually trying to, like, they're showing up behind the officers as they're dealing with the situation and trying to amp the situation up. And they're trying to make what would have been like a simple, like, hey man, like, don't do this to this person, to a, like, they want to fight because this person's yelling and screaming that this person's violating rights, and they have no idea what's even going on. So, I mean, there's just a safety aspect that officers are generally concerned about too. My recommendation for you, or suggestion, if you truly want to understand, like, why law enforcement does certain things, we host a Citizens Police Academy. It's your opportunity to go out and be like, they will show you different things that we do and why they're done that way. It gives you a little context to why we do things a certain way. It may help you understand. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean you're not going to catch officers doing something wrong, because here's the reality of anything. Every person everywhere is a human being who makes human errors.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I guess that's what I try to emphasize to, and I know the other leadership does too, to the officers we supervise is, and when you go out and deal with the public, remember they're all humans making mistakes, so try to keep that in mind. I guess that's what we would like back from citizens who are trying to hold accountable, is just remember these are humans making big decisions within split seconds, which includes, you know, if you show up to an officer as they're dealing with a high stress situation, like, they may legitimately be in fear for their life because you're adding to a situation that they're outnumbered in, or for whatever reason. I mean, you worked in the military, you had a leader come up to you and try to tell you how to do your job, or pretended they know what they were talking about and they had no idea. Ever encounter that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of the frustration the guys are dealing with.
Well, and I understand that, and I want to raise this as well, the fact that, you know, just like that's stressful, you know, one wrong mistake by an officer, okay, oops, you know, maybe they realized after the fact, but at the same time now they're not trying to get themselves freaking shafted, you know, fall into a lawsuit, anything like that. You got to think, one wrong, there's plenty of people that have mistrust for cops because their life has been ruined because of a bad arrest, because of a bad, and once that happens, literally the doors that it closes, it's, you know, they might as well be dead. You know, like it closes every door and avenue in their life.
I hear what you're saying, and here's why I generally understand what you're saying. My primary task, one of them, is dealing with the homeless population. So I have 3 homeless service advocates that work under me. Their whole responsibility is to get these people out of homelessness. And, you know, all the traumas, all the past encounters, and a lot of them mistrust law enforcement because, not all of them, a lot of them spend a lot of time getting in trouble because they're doing stuff illegally while they're homeless. I mean, if you're stuck there, you're more likely to do that.
Well, and then they're also going to do things to go to jail during the coldest part of the year because that's going to give them a warmer,
sure.
You know.
Yep, I've encountered that. I've had people bust down doors just to go to jail so they can have some.
Yep.
So all I'm saying is I get what you're saying. I do. And, you know, I try to work really hard with my team to say, hey, here's something I'm seeing in the field that might create some concern or might let you screw up something. And I try to stay very on top of my team, keep them trained and to make solid decisions.
I'll say, you know, they ignored me, but I guess, you know, on the upside, nobody came and basically tried to criminalize photography in public and you know, being on a public sidewalk. So I mean, you know, you can take the good with the bad. You know, it wasn't a all around failure. Yeah, but it bothered me, man. It bothered me because
I get it.
I felt it was disrespectful.
It's
I wasn't trying to disrespect them. I was trying to talk to them. I was trying to, you know, I just wanted to ask a question. I'm a journalist. First and foremost, I'm a journalist. I'm an investigative journalist. That's what I do. And you know, I publish articles. That's what I do. I'm a journalist. I like to ask questions, and it rubbed me the wrong way. I just felt like it was disrespectful. I just want, you know, and I understand. That's why I wanted to ask how many people, you know, y'all had encounters with as far as from the 1A community over here, because yeah, there are some people that do it in aggressive ways, that do it in ways that, you know, really cross the line. You know, I think they would probably argue that they were stress testing it right, you know, but it definitely makes things a lot harder for people that are not out there trying to aggressively do it. But yeah, hey, man, I know that you got to get back to work.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. Like I said, I'm here trying to catch up on a couple of community needs. I'm assigned to the Community Policing Bureau, and my unit's over homelessness, special events, and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm here just trying to get some stuff caught up for some people who are waiting stuff in the city, and that's why I volunteered to come out. Like, those guys were all busy in the field, so I apologize there was a wait. Like I said, I came out as quickly as I could.
Hey, so what do you hear about the Church of Latter-day Saints right over there? Heard they're organizing to go to war with the Scientologists. Any credibility to that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because I think I've not heard that one before. I've not heard anything about the Scientology thing.
Yeah, no, that's just a completely random joke. I was joking actually with my attorney, and if he hears that, he's gonna laugh his butt off. Yeah, I'm doing static video right now, but yeah, I joked with him on the way up here and told him that, and he was like, I don't know whether I should believe you or not believe you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, so.
Well, if you decide, if you're in the area, like I said, you wouldn't tell me where you're from, so if you are in the area and you want to do that police academy.
I tell you what I really want to do. I really want to do a live version of Cops. Can we do that? Can we ride around, pull people over, and I can
don't
I can
think so,
record
and
it?
I'll tell you why. Because when cops offered to come here before, they turned them down.
Really?
Yeah, I think it can just bring negative attention. Like, people just look for negative things, and we just don't want to play with that game. But I don't know. You could ask. I mean, you could ask the chief. I can't say. I'll just give you an idea that it's been turned down before. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
I think it was it wasn't cops, it was live PD or
live
something.
PD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't get to come, and I know they give the department money to allow it to happen, so they weren't even interested in the money.
Mm.
But,
So the money is not important. Interesting.
no, actually, so if you look at, statistically speaking, our officer per population is actually pretty low. So, I mean, if we could get 50 more officers, we'd be a lot more effective, but that's quite a bit of price tag.
Oh, you're damn right it is.
Yeah.
50 more officers. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I'm just saying, we're operating pretty well for what we have.
Fair enough.
So, like I said, if you come back by, that police academy is a great thing. It goes through the sheriff's office and all the coordinating agencies that participate. They'll put you in some traffic stop training. They'll put you in some jail training. You get to kind of see how they respond to different things. And then they put you in the situation, you get to feel how you would respond to the situations. So I think it's fun to see and do, but if you're in the area,
Interesting.
get a hold of, you can call in, I can speak to the community
And when
outreach
is
coordinator.
this?
So they have one that's started already, so the next one's this fall.
You do them twice a year?
Yeah, twice a year. I think it's either starts in September or October. Well, if you decide, if you're in the area, like I said, you wouldn't tell me where you're from. So if you are in the area and you want to do that police academy,
I tell you what I really want to do. I really want to do a live version of Cops. Can we do that? Can we ride around, pull people over, and I can,
I
I
don't
can
think so.
record
And
it?
I'll tell you why. Because when cops offered to come here before, they turned them down.
Really?
Yeah, I think it can just bring negative attention. Like people just look for negative things, and we just don't want to play that game. But I don't know. You can ask. I mean, you can ask the chief. I can't say. I just give you an idea that it's been turned down before. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
I think it was the different. It wasn't cops. It was live PD or
live
something.
PD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't get to come. I know they give the department money to allow it to happen, so they weren't even interested in it.
Mm. So the money is not important. Interesting.
No, actually, so if you look at statistically speaking, our officer per population is actually pretty low. So I mean, if we could get 50 more officers, we'd be a lot more effective. But that's quite a bit price tag.
Oh, you're damn right it is.
Yeah.
50 more officers. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm just saying we're operating pretty well for what we have.
Fair enough.
So, like I said, if you come back by, that police academy is a great thing. It goes through the sheriff's office and all the coordinating agencies that participate. They'll put you in some traffic stop training. They'll put you in some jail training. You get to kind of see how they respond to different things. And then they put you in the situation, you get to feel how you would respond to the situations. So I think it's fun to see and do, but if you're in the area,
Interesting.
get a hold of, you can call in to speak to the
And
community
when,
outreach
and when is
coordinator.
this?
So they have one that's started already, so the next one's this fall.
You do them twice a year?
Yeah, twice a year. I think it's either starts in September or October. It's a good opportunity. Maybe they'll let you come in and do your piece of it. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't say, but it's something worth trying.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So I think they have a video online. You can kind of check it out, see what it is that they do. It's kind of I work with the community engagement organizer on our end of the unit that I'm in. So I think it's pretty good advice. I encourage you, if you can, come do it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
definitely.
And give you a little insight. If you come back by, you have any questions, you can ask for me. I'm Sergeant Fisher,
What's your badge number?
917.
917.
Just so you know, it's not a required thing.
Wait, what is
The badge number.
What?
So, think about it this way. You go to a police department like New York that has like 45,000 officers. ID numbers really matter, right? Here, I'm the only Sergeant Fisher there is.
Right. Well,
And there's only 150 of us in the department. So, it's not even technically on our badges. What you're asking for is our department ID number, which isn't, like I said, isn't printed up. So giving it to you is just courtesy, because there's no reason to fight over it.
right.
I just don't want you to go out in front of an officer and they don't give you, I just want you to know there's no policy that says we have to give it.
I got you.
They do have to identify themselves as an officer and their name.
Cool.
So just wanted to give you a heads up. I don't know that any department around here has that requirement for
Right.
ID numbers.
Yeah, so I've got a book that's about to publish here in the next week or two. It'll be my first one.
Yep.
American Injustice: One Man's Battle Against Corruption, and I just blanked out. Because I've just been I just go by American Injustice. It's tagline that I put on it: one man's battle against corruption and retaliation.
Kind of like government stuff.
Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of stuff over the last 8 years, man. That's one of the things that put me hell bent on making sure that our rights are protected. They're like muscles. If you don't exercise them, I've witnessed firsthand what too much power in wrong people's hands can do. And it has been a wrecking ball to my life. It has caused harm to my kids. It's literally, separated me from my family, but it's done a whole lot more than just that. And you know, I've been documenting. I got everything, you know, finally put together. Just wrote the last chapter of it the other day. And
How big of a book? How many pages?
it's gonna be a little over 200.
Okay.
It's
What
So where's the hot spots around Ogden? Like, is there a nightlife down here? Is there anything where people get
25th Street.
wild and crazy and
You
y'all?
like criminal?
Well, y'all normally have a presence at, like,
Around
you
the
know,
bars?
like people fighting. Y'all are always generally like out there and around there because something's about to pop off.
The bars about closing time.
Is it?
Yeah. Drunk people come out and they were in there, like, you looked at my girlfriend, you did this, or you scuzzed me, and now that we're at the end of the night and done having fun, I'm gonna throw a couple swings and take off.
Right.
So that's probably, as far as hotspots go, one morning, Friday night, Saturday night.
And where's the strand of bars down here?
25th Street.
On
Those blocks that week, yeah. Between Wall and the office isn't open. If you need assistance, there's a phone right there. You can call in and have an officer come out and talk to you.
Yeah, I was considering whether to go to Salt Lake City or West Valley.
A lot busier cities. They have, Salt Lake City has like 450 officers, and West Valley I think has around 300.
Yeah, like the last couple of weekends, I've gone down to Salt Lake City and down around what is it, State Street.
Yeah, it's one of those cities I don't really go to.
Yeah.
I don't like big cities. That's why I like Ogden. It's a smaller community. You get still a lot of fun activities, but you don't have as much politics going on. And the capital city obviously has state
Well,
capital or politics.
and I need to go over to West Valley City or whatever. Is it West Valley City or okay?
West Valley.
Yeah. So I saw several of their officers driving around with one headlight the last time I was down there, and that irks me right there because, you know, I tried to talk to one officer about it. He took off in a car with one headlight. Okay. Tried to talk to his supervisor. Supervisor didn't give a shit. You know, it was like, was he supposed to go to AutoZone right now? It's not open. The thing is, I was like, well, would that excuse fly if I got pulled over? And he was like, I wouldn't write you a ticket. You might and you might not. But see, here's the thing. It gave you the probable cause. It gave you the PC to make the stop, and now that can lead into anything else because a headlight just went out. And for so many, we saw several cars with West Valley driving around with one headlight. And
There's a lot of edged swords there for that comment. Yeah, the supervisor's technically right because we're not allowed to change any equipment on the vehicle. You have to go to the shops. They only operate Monday through Friday during business hours.
But, you know, with as many cop cars as they got, they ought to have a supply of them, you know, so that
Headlights,
if this
yeah.
happens...
We're not allowed to fix the vehicles.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to change anything about the vehicle. Otherwise, we could get in trouble.
Gotcha.
Because there's like, no, you're not authorized to maintain...
You're modifying
Yes.
stuff. And,
Yeah, so there's that aspect to it. But also, I mean, if we didn't stop and address vehicles that were out of compliance, especially since the state got rid of, and I don't know if you're from Utah or you're visiting, but the state got rid of the requirement for safety inspections, which a lot of people were excited about. It actually just made it a lot harder for us because now we have to stop a lot more vehicles for being way out of safety requirements. Like, used to be like, okay, you can't modify the vehicle this way, it's illegal, and then we get caught at those times. And now we're having to address it all ourselves. Like, mufflers is a huge thing since that occurred.
What about tent laws? Is that
35% on the front side windows, 75 or 78 for the windshield. The back windows as dark as you want. Yeah.
I mean, is that even something that's heavily monitored, like around here, or do they focus on? I mean, mine's just regular factory tent, but I was asking because I do have light sensitivity, and I wouldn't mind, you know, putting darker tint on there. But
35 on the front sides. I don't like when I see departments that go darker than that because I'm like, that ain't fair. You tell the citizens one thing, you can't do something different. I've had those arguments. So I'm a tint guy. I have a tint meter. I'm also a traffic guy when I was an officer and not a sergeant. and I investigated a lot of fatalities. Some of those accidents were related to too dark of tint on the vehicle, and they couldn't see the pedestrian crossing the road as they turned into him.
I got you.
So, I mean, I have personal reasons for thinking they're important. But, so yeah, it just depends. Most of the officers don't have tint meters, so a lot of them don't pursue it. But I guess that's what I say, it just depends.
Gotcha, brother.
But, I mean, a fix-it ticket, I guess, is where a lot of those land.
Right.
It's just saying, hey, like, we just want you to get in compliance. You get it fixed, there's no fine. You just got to get signed off that it's fixed.
Right.
So I like fix-it tickets because it's a way of me saying, like, hey.
Well, but you know, if it was just that simple, I know a lot of times it gives that probable cause to go off down another, you know, rabbit hole. Oh, I smell weed. Yeah, you're smoking weed.
That's
Let me
true.
search that car.
I've gotten DUIs off of.
Is that a straw in your seat?
Yeah. But I mean, those are illegal issues, right?
They are illegal issues.
Yeah. So because I've gotten a DUI off of a low tire.
Yep.
Hey man, that tire's gonna give out. And I pulled him over, totally DUI. I wasn't going after a DUI,
Right.
but
Right.
I mean, you also wouldn't want us to be like, I just had a equipment violation. Like DUI driver, go ahead. Like
Right.
you wouldn't want me doing that either. So I get your point too. Like, I guess in those situations, if the drivers just kept their vehicle in compliance, they probably wouldn't be stopped.
You're right. You're right. Well, I gotta go grab me something to eat, man.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, like I said, if you come back in, is this ours?
Yeah, I got some complaint forms earlier. There's no need in me even filling them out because honestly, I don't even know the officers that, you know, drove by. I mean, it's just they just kept going. I talked to whoever it was that came out in the lobby earlier, and I was like, I need some complaint forms. I feel like I need to write up the whole department. And
Yeah.
but, hey, I appreciate it, Sergeant.
Okay. Like I said, if you come back to the neighborhood, if you have any questions, feel free to call in and ask for me.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
You too.